TYT Sports, Francis Maxwell here, your sharply dressed World Cup coordinator, and I would like to take this to go and talk about Landon Donovan. I think Twitter exploded, the most tweets it's probably had since Ellen DeGeneres' selfie that she took during the Oscars. It went mental, as we would say in Scotland. Landon Donovan left out of Jurgen Klinsmann's World Cup squad. What do you think about it? Well, with me being very opinionated, of course I'm going to have to give you my opinion. I mean, what's the point of tuning in if I'm not going to talk about it? So we have tons of tweets coming in from a lot of famous people talking about it, but the one that we have to take from is our favourite correspondent, I think he's on Fox Sport, is Alexi Lalas. We have the quote up here. He came out and said, again, life isn't fair and soccer isn't fair. A World Cup roster isn't about form, merit, history, it's simply a coach's preference. Which is very true. Alexi Lalas hit the nail on the head for once. I think he talked about how that it's all up to the coach, and Jurgen Klinsmann has made some bold decisions. I would say, not crazy, bold decisions in this World Cup. I do not technically agree with this one of leaving out Donovan, and here's why. The World Cup is a huge competition about holding it together and being a well-structured formation, but also about experience. If you're an experienced player in the World Cup, as I always talk about Pirlo, he's had a World Cup under his belt, and he came back in 2012 to the Euros, another large competition, but he was amazing in that World Cup. Zidane in 2010 was considered past it, but he was experienced and managed to lead France all the way to the final before his notorious headbutt. But I'm not saying Donovan's in these categories, but he has scored two of the most valuable goals in the United States history in the World Cup in 2010 to send them through to the last 16, which no one expected them to do. So to leave him out of this competition, to bring in another guy who I can only call as a nobody, I'm sorry, I think Davis was the guy they brought in instead, to bring him in and leave Donovan out, who for the morale of the country is without doubt going to hinder them all. I'm not saying that he's at the same peak as same form he was in 2010, but he still knows where the net is. He knows where the goal is. He manages to get himself in the right places at the right times. He can bring him on for 10 minutes in one of these group stages games against Portugal or whoever to try and sneak a goal. To leave him out, for me, Jurgen Klinsmann, was pretty foolish. And the whole nation, as I can tell, there has been some people like, oh, he's past it, he's over it, but when you're dealing with a small pool of quality players, I think Landon Donovan is still someone who I would have had in there for team morale, for experience, telling these young guys what they should expect. I mean, people are like, oh, well, he should be a coach then, but no, he's still got it in him to try and put in a couple of goals here and there. So Jurgen Klinsmann, I think you need to go back to the drawing board and barricade your doors, because I think half of the United States is ready to knock it down for Captain America to make his way back into the squad. So I couldn't have this show without touching on this subject. So please give me your views. I would love to hear from them. Tweet me at Francis Maxwell. Please respond on TYT Sports. Let us know, because this is one thing that I'm not as sure about as what I have been on others. So I would love to hear. But sorry, to finish up for me, Jurgen Klinsmann needs to rethink a few things we could do with the old experienced dog in there. Thank you for tuning in.